Stop. Hello, I'm Solar Loon and I'm in the dark. Give me a second. There we go. Better. And yes. Better. Better? Well, kind of better. I have to... Well, yeah, it's better. All right, anyway. Hello. Solar Loon here. And welcome to my stream here. I'm an independent game developer and programmer, artist, musician. Oh, yeah. I do stuff myself, basically. And today, we're going to be working on a program that I made and am working on called MasterPlan, which is basically a project planning software for game developers, or just programmers in general. So it's something like an idea board, a to-do list, task board, timers, all that stuff kind of in one application. And so we're going to see what it's like currently and also work on it a little bit. So let's go ahead and kind of get started. Also, this is... the wrong screen. Anyway, let's go ahead and get cracking here. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and head over to the source folder here, MasterPlan. There we go. Pull up VS Code. I've been working in VS Code for pretty much the longest time until now, but recently it started crashing kind of reliably, like every 15 minutes or so. So I might end up moving to something else, like either Idea or like, I don't know. Yeah, Atom something. But for now, we're just going to stick with what we got here with VS Code. And so first things first, I'm going to basically show a little bit of what I have, what basically MasterPlan is, how it works currently, and then we'll kind of move on from there. Okay, and so it's going ahead and compiling right now. And so the original idea that I had when it came to basically making this software, it came from basically my usage of, or the process that I was going through to make games. And so I was, in the process of making something. It was the other project I'm working on, one of the other projects I'm working on, I Know Who I Am, which is an adventure game. And I wanted to kind of more reliably plan out like the spatial positions of all the zones in the game. But there wasn't really anything that really fills that need. Like there's planning software that out there that exists, but for the most part, here we go. I finally finished compiling. I think it's just slow for the first time around. But there wasn't really anything around that worked that well for planning out, like, where something is in relation to something else, visual influences. So for example, if you're making a temple arena or temple, desert temple in like a Zelda-like game, you might have pictures of like, the Death Valley Desert. You might have pictures of the Grand Canyon. You might have pictures of Mayan temples. You might have pictures of the pyramids, and use that kind of those things to kind of give you an idea of what that area should look like. Like there's nothing really that fills that need. You can use spreadsheets, but they're just kind of finicky. You can use things like Hack and Plan or Trello, but they kind of tend to push you in a specific direction for like how tasks should be completed or where they physically are on your board. MasterPlan is basically just like, it's up to you. You put the tasks wherever you want to put them. You can search for them as you wish to search for them. You can resize images, place images wherever you want. It's very much so kind of up to you as to how you want to plan out your projects and really execute your kind of approach it in a workflow that works for you. The files that MasterPlan saves are just ordinary text files, so you can put them right in your source tree, so you don't have to like maintain a Trello account with your projects for your Metroid like. You don't have to maintain a Hack and Plan account with your task list that you've done for your third person action adventure game, as well as your source tree. Like, rather than having these things in different places, it's best to have them in the same place, so that when you do something like implement an enemy, you can check off the thing that says, yeah, you implemented the enemy, and then push all of them at the same time and have them all in the source tree together. So it's cool. I think it's really helpful, and it looks pretty nice, and it's gotten nicer and nicer over time. There are a variety of themes and things like that, so it's just kind of a cool piece of software. And so today what we're going to be doing is working on it a little bit. Something that immediately comes to mind is that there are different boards, which are basically layers. Oh, there's a chat, and it was completely, yeah, for some reason it wasn't showing up. Okay, I was wondering like why it was completely blank. Okay, people saying hello, what's up? Thank you very much for stopping by the stream. Well appreciated very much. Let's see. Zyodic says, hello, finally a stream where I can watch live. Thanks for streaming earlier. No problem. And I think this will probably be the general process by which I stream, probably once in the morning during the week, and then once in the evening, probably on the weekend, because I can't stream in the morning on the weekend. So that way we get, everyone can have a shot, and I'll probably rotate through the things I'm streaming like I'm doing this time. So today I'm doing MasterPlan. The last stream was the Go Lane game, and then the previous one was I Know Who I Am, which is in Godot. So I'm probably going to rotate through the projects and the topics, essentially, unless I really just don't want to do something one day. Tony Powell says, yo, broski, glad to see you back streaming. Let's get some music in here and shake them pixels like they owe us money. All right, okay, so I suppose that's what we'll do. Let me check something real quick on my microphone here. Okay, if it sounds weird or anything, please let me know. I can always adjust the volumes or the filters if it's kind of like sharp or choppy or something. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get some music going. I'll go to streaming stuff. I don't have my headphones in right now. And apologies for starting late on the stream, because I was kind of running out of time. I had some other things to do, and something kind of unexpected came up. So apologies for starting a little bit late, and hopefully things will work out well. Let's get something going here. Let's get some... I need something a little more cool. Not that loud. Also... Okay, it's muted anyway. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't like blowing out anybody's eardrums here while I choose which song to put in. Also, I see some screen tearing. I'll fix that in a couple seconds as well. Yeah, let's go with this. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, get the music nice and low, not too loud. There we go. Fix this screen tearing. I'm not sure why the screen tears every time I stream, but I always have to basically re-enable syncing to VBlink, which is VSync, and that always fixes it. So it's always on. like it's on when I open NVIDIA settings. I untrigger it, re-trigger it, and then the tearing is gone. So whatever. All right, so we're good. This is looping, right? Yeah, cool. All right. Excellent. Oh, I have a... Oof, this is a little tough to reach there. Noaz says, what's your favorite way to make your projects? I'm not sure quite what you mean, but I am interested in the question. So please, if you can rephrase it, just because like I'm interested. I'd like to answer. I think it's an interesting topic, but I'm not quite sure if you're talking about like your favorite way to come up with ideas for projects, or your favorite way to like build motivation to work on them. Well, I guess I'll just start answering, and then if I'm off, then you can just say that's not what I'm talking about. So basically, my favorite way to come up with ideas, it depends on what your need is. So like for MasterPlan, I came up with this specifically because there wasn't really anything like a to-do list idea board that ran on your computer. Usually they're like, they run on internet servers somewhere, they require accounts, they aren't local programs, they don't store data on your computer really. They might require a like running a server if they offer the ability to download a local copy of the software. So like that's kind of the usual for planning software, and so I came up with this because I wanted something different. I wanted something that was like just an easy solution basically, and there wasn't really anything that did this. Now if you are asking like, oh, my favorite way to make my projects out of Godot, Golang, etc. Okay, that's a different question. Okay, so I wasn't going to answer that one, so I'm glad you specified, because I didn't think that's what you were referring to. Okay, so out of Golang and Godot and others, I feel like I like Go over Godot. Well, it's a little tough, because the thing about game development specifically, because we're talking about if you're comparing Godot and Go, you're probably talking about making games. So if between those things, Godot is a much more full-featured solution to making games, and I think it's easier for people who don't know anything about making games to get into it. So I think that like if you just want to go in and make games and probably have them work, you probably want to go with Godot. I think I prefer Go because it gives you more control, but it's harder. So like I'm in the middle of making MasterPlan. I'm working on it. It's available for download and purchase. The code is also available on GitHub. If you want to purchase it, it's in the description on solarloon.itch.io. But like there's problems that will arise where it's like, oh, you didn't package the libc .so for this guy's computer because he runs Linux, like an older version of Linux, and it's not the same version, and like that kind of stuff can come up with like dependency issues and things like that, where I don't feel like it would really come up that often with Godot. I feel like it's going to be much kind of more straightforward approach to development. So in that respect, that's what I'm looking for. I'm sorry, I have 3 screens here, so I'm looking for something on this screen. But in that respect, it's a little harder to work with Go versus Godot, but it's a compiled language, which is the obvious upside of being much faster than GDScript, and not being as tied down to a specific way of doing things with Godot. So for this MasterPlan, because it's not a game, it's more of a planning software. It's more of a kind of utility software. It doesn't really make sense to use a game engine specifically for it. It's just something that benefits mostly from being fast, being easy to write in, having direct control over the drawing. So while this could be done in like Godot or Game Maker or something like that, probably it's easier. You'd have an easier time doing this in like Go with Raylib or Ebiton or whatever. So I think I prefer Go over like GDScript or something else for this and for most games, but I can't say that like Godot is a bad choice. I think that they're both useful, and I don't think one is better than the other until you become a really solid programmer. Like if you're the kind of dude who can like if you're the kind of person who can make like a Mega Man Legends like game in C or Go with like a very basic 3D library like Raylib, then like you probably are past Godot. Like at that point, like you're just like you probably like Go or C or C++ or whatever over Godot, and you're getting results. So it's like you like what you like, it's working well for you, and at that point you might be proficient enough where pretty much any normal issues like dependency problems and stuff like that you can solve yourself, and where they might crop up and how to avoid them and how to fix them. But if you're just like, oh well, I just started making games or I just started finishing games, then like Godot, Game Maker, that kind of stuff is probably better for like beginner to intermediate programmers. But if you're like, yeah, I'm making something insane all by myself in like C with like duct tape and screws and half a rock as a hammer, then it's like this man has ascended. So I think like I prefer Go, but like if Godot had Go as a language, I feel like that would be like perfect. I probably still wouldn't use that for this. Well, I might not still use that for this just because this is kind of specific in the way it works. But like I think GDScript is solid, but it's just a little slow. I think if there was a compiled language, not dynamic, that would probably be a pretty solid gain for the game engine. But anyway, I think I prefer Go to Godot in general. But it's not like, sorry, I'm looking for something specific and it's not showing up on this screen on my computer here. And what I'm specifically looking for, that's not what I'm specifically looking for. So yeah, that's kind of one of the things. Howling says, how is licensing when it comes to publishing closed source games with Go? I'm sorry, there's also Leo Zanger's comment. I'll get to that in a couple seconds as well. Yeah, what is going on over here? Let's see. Howling says, how is licensing? It's fine. It's basically relatively simple. I mean, you're basically, you have control over the code, so you can license it however you wish. You can go ahead and choose to make it open source. You can go ahead and choose to make it closed source. Go doesn't push any restrictions on the licensing or language like pretty much any other programming tool. So it's completely fine. Yeah, I'm not sure why this isn't working right. What I'm trying to do is get my chat to show up over there so that I can have this screen free. Let's see. Rubman says, yo, I love this tool. Oh, excellent. Thank you very much for purchasing it or not and just building it from GitHub. Well appreciated that people are using the tool and a fan of it. Leo Zanier says, thank you. Well, hello, Solar. Thank you for all your work. Very useful to me. Thank you as well. Can you explain how to build a final executable app on Golang and Raylib, or do you know where to find the information about it? Thank you. Sure, I can explain a little bit. I believe it's. I'll show the build script over here on the main monitor. And I'm sorry, I'm taking too long at doing this here, but I'm not sure why this is so difficult for me as well. But basically, you just use go build. Like it's not too difficult of a process. You just go ahead and use go build, and you're basically good to go. I'm sorry, I thought I clicked on this before. Maybe did I not? I'm not sure what's going on. I don't know what's going on. This is insane. YouTube Studio, like, hierarchy / flow chart for like accessing things is kind of insane. Like, I'm gonna be honest, it's kind of insane. There we go, finally. I don't know why this was so difficult. All right, here we go. We're good. Took like a billion hours to get this to be where I wanted it to be. Anywho, we're good. All right, so yeah, I'll go ahead and show this a little bit on how the build process works. It's pretty straightforward. We'll head over to VS Code, go to the build script, and I have a function to publish to itch.io because that's where the builds are available. But otherwise, yeah. So the process by which you build an application, it really just is build -o and then the file name. So you could just type in go build, that -o, or I guess go build -o, the game // and so that will build an executable called the game, and it will use the source files in // which is the current directory. That's really it. Besides that, what I also do in this script is I copy over the changelog file so that you have a copy of it on your computer with the executable master plan, and then you also have the assets being copied over. So you can easily see, like, for example, or not easily see, but so that the application can easily grab the necessary you know, images, sounds, all that stuff. So the overall process by which this works is really straightforward. It's just basically this, but this is what builds the executable. If you're building for Mac, which for simplicity, I'm just basically building for Linux on Linux, building for Windows on Windows, building for Mac on Mac. If you're building for Mac, then you want to basically build it in such a way where you have a .app folder with contents and Mac OS in there, and then you push the assets into that Mac OS folder, and the executable itself also goes in there. So it's a little, actually you can see it here if we go to bin. The Mac folder has the changelog and the MasterPlan.app, which is a folder, but on Mac it will execute that. And then inside here we have the assets under contents, Mac OS, and then right next to that is the executable. So it's pretty much the same as like Linux or Windows in that the executable is right next to the assets. It's just nested in deep into the app folder. But yeah, the actual process by which you build stuff is pretty straightforward. It's not really that complex. Let me just do something real quick again on this other. I have like this, there we go. I have this like USB switcher, this USB like button I can press to switch my keyboard and mouse to my other computer here, and it's like, it's so bad. I'm not sure if it's the switcher or if it's my Mac over here on the side that's just like not working correctly. Anyway, so this is working. We're good. So what we're gonna do here, because MasterPlan is actually still running, I'd like to try making it, well, not try, I'd like to make it so that you can basically move boards around. So you can like press a button to move a board up or move a board down and rearrange them. Because sometimes, you know, let's say you have a board, well, basically, yeah, okay. So basically boards in this tool function like layers. So you can have something on one board and not, you know, it won't show up on the other boards. So you can have a board for example, for all of your to-do list stuff, another board for your images, maybe another board for areas in your game, maybe another board for songs that you like that influence, you know, maybe a different area, things like that. But what if you say, okay, I want it to be like code, images, like, you know, code, images, and then lore, let's say. But then you say, well, I want lore above code. Like I want lore, then images, then, you know. So if you want to rearrange stuff, there's no way to do that currently. So we're gonna make something that allows you to do that. We're gonna basically make a button, a couple of buttons, I think, probably on the left of the currently selected board that allow you to move it up or down. And then that's it. So let's go ahead and get started on that. Do we have anything that we, no. Okay, I just wanted to see if we had anything that was kind of waiting to be done. So the way this works, I believe it's in the project. Let me see if I can find it here. Board. Here we go. Yeah, so this is where the board stuff exists. Okay, so this is where you switch to a board if disabled. This is where rename. Okay, this is where you rename the board. All right, so this is where we're gonna start, basically. We don't have actually icons for this, so let's go ahead and break out a sprite. Don Duval says, hey, you should give Synergy for sharing a single mouse keyboard with multiple computers via software network. Really? I hadn't thought it, dude. That would be sick. Oh, hold on. I'm not gonna install this and run this right now. because I already have something to basically sync my source code between this computer and my Mac. But if there was something specifically for this, that would be great, because yeah, this USB thing is not great. Ooh. Oh, it might be paid. If it is, that's fine. I might end up buying it actually if it's good enough. I'll keep this bookmarked because it seems like a cool idea, and I am very interested in the concept of sharing a mouse and keyboard across like the network. It'll probably be laggy, but that's fine. I mean, it doesn't have to be like super tight. Rootman says, yeah, I think some sort of line drawing would be excellent. Also, does it support importing vectors? I don't know. I haven't tried SVG, and I think it's something in Raylib. I think I have it enabled in Raylib's config file. I'm not sure though. Let me see. Try to see if there's some way to find it. Is it in here? Config.go or config.h? Yeah. Is SVG enabled? No. So yeah, no. Okay, yeah. So unfortunately, it doesn't support SVG files or vector files. So if I were to basically add vector file support, it would have to be. I'm not sure if I would have to make it myself, but it would probably have to be a rasterization, a function or something that rasterizes vector file contents to an image and then displays that image. So it's not trivial unless I can find a vector import library that also like converts it to a standard Golang image, which is possible, but I can't guarantee that that will make it in. Fashion Killer says, hi all, sup, how's it going? Don Duval says, you could use a mesh file like OBJ, just ignore the third dimension. That's true. But I can't, it would have to be something that would, like, yeah, well, that's, because something that I wanted to add at some point was a 3D model displayer. So you could, like, put in, like, a player model or something, you know, and then it would just give you controls to, like, really simple controls in this little window to, like, move, like, pan, rotate, zoom in, zoom out, like, very basic stuff. But it would be cool to allow you to like have, you know, a mock-up. Like if you wanted a 3D mock-up of, you know, an area, it would allow you to visualize it. Or if you had a player mesh already made, then you could put it in your task board. So that would be kind of cool. And if you did, if that was made already, then anyone who wanted vector like results. No, that's something different. So yeah, I would still have to, if I wanted to add vector, or if I were to add vector support, I would have to actually like make a vector file importer and rasterizer, or build in one, like import one. So I'd have to see. I'm not sure about that. Yeah, I'll have to see. So let's do this. I'll actually add that. Let's see, Ruben says, I guess if you decide to go that route, you could allow people to make stuff in vector and import to display in MasterPlan, as opposed to doing specific shape tasks, if that makes sense. Or line drawing. Lines, yeah. Visualize that they're somehow related to each other. Yeah, different people suggested lines, and I agree that basically there should be something you can do to like say like, oh, do this, and then point to another task. Maybe I will do that. Actually, that's what I wanted to do previously. Maybe I will add that on this stream too, because other people wanted, I'll see if I can, but other people wanted that specific capability, and it's a good capability. I could definitely see the use immediately out of sorry about that. Sorry about just me clicking things. But yeah, I could definitely see the use on that concept of just immediately having the ability to relate tasks to each other. It feels like an obviously good feature to have. Let's see. Apologies, I'm trying to see if I can... Here we go. I'm trying to see if I could zoom in on this screen on the side. Okay, that definitely is helping me out a lot. All right, because otherwise it's just untenable. All right, far better. Okay, this is way better. Okay, so yeah, I could do definitely Bezier curves. Well, yeah, for lines, I think I could definitely see about adding that, because that's a good feature. I'm not sure exactly how it would work. I'm not sure if it would be a line, like specifically a line task that just basically has like a start and an end point, and you just drag the endpoint wherever you want. Well, let's do this. What we'll do, let's do a visual mock-up first of that concept, and then we'll see what we end up with. So let me pull up GIMP. Let's do a visual mock-up, because it's very important that it looks right, because that tells us what direction we're basically trying to go in. Let's open this. This is fine. Okay, so the idea of this is essentially that you can like point to this like that, right? So if that's the case, then should it be in its own task like this, and you can drag the head of the arrow, and it just draws a line between the start and end. So like a line task basically is like this, right? And then you drag the head, and it basically makes a line from the start to the head. You move the start, it moves both. You move the head, it just goes from the start to the end like that. That's one way to do it, because that way you could very easily kind of point to things. Because it has to be something that you can select, right? Because otherwise you'd have to like say, oh, like click on the task, open the task, you know, say like associate with, and then click on another task. Or it could be in the right click menu. So like you have a task selected, and one of these options is like associate with. So you click on associate with, and then you click on another task, and it'll draw the line. But what if you want to have multiple lines? The line, it should be best if the line didn't have to be a task, because maybe you don't want the line to point to a task. Maybe it should point to something else, like an image, or maybe it should just point in a general direction. Like you have, let's say, because one of the ideas I had was to make a shape task where you could like block out a shape, which would be useful for like dungeons, right? Dungeons, maps, towns, anywhere where you have to kind of think about the spatial relation of places. A space or a shape task would be useful. So you can use that to like say like I'm making a Metroid like actually like Metroid. You could say, okay, well, you know, this block is like the starting block, and you head over here, and then you fall down this pit, and then over here is like, you know, where you get the morph ball upgrade. Well, it'd be nice to have like lines, right, to be able to point from where you start maybe, and give a general direction of the right path to go. And then once you know that, you can put little rooms on the sides to say like, oh, this is some other areas that you can visit. So I think the direct line manipulation, and that's what Don Duval is also saying, I think I like the direct line manipulation versus the context menu. I think so, because with a line that's just a direct like thing you're moving around, you can put it wherever you want and you can have more control over it than having to make it like a task to task or object to object even association. So the line task could just have a start and an end, and then you just position those two. You just grab those two and move them around. That's definitely, I think, a good idea. Now the only hard part about this is that I don't really quite have a concept for how this would work, because these are essentially two tasks that are one. Yeah, it's essentially, I'll have to think about this a little bit more on the actual implementation of it, because you need to be able to click on either box, either the line, the arrowhead, or the line base, or possibly somewhere in the center. Unless maybe just one of those is the actual task and the other one is just a control. All controls in MasterPlan are in the task though. So like this button that plays a sound is in the task. This button that's restarts the sound is in the task. There's no button that's outside of the task. I haven't implemented that. Zyodic says, it should be possible to connect the lines to the task, so if you move the tasks around, the lines will follow. That's true. Well, the connection could just be as simple as placing it directly next to the task. So if you have a line that starts from here and goes here, like it, you know, it's just to the right of, or I'm sorry, to the left of the task. Then when you move the task around, move the task around like this, the head will also point to the left automatically. So that wouldn't be too hard. The hardest part is just that I didn't design it so that the tasks could be comprised of multiple parts. So we'll have to, I'll probably give it a shot. I'll probably give it a shot on stream and see if I can get it working, because it's a good idea and it's definitely worth implementing, and I think it's a good, you know, really something that kind of exemplifies MasterPlan over other project planning software, where it's like, yeah, this is like truly free space, like it's free real estate, like it's actually free real estate, like it's actually, you know, about the space and how you make use of the space in your plan to better inform yourself of your vision. So I think having the ability to make a line and just point in a general direction would be useful. Zydic says, just make it two separate tasks, they are connected with the line. This way you can add even more lines from the same source. Okay, so you think that you're thinking, if I understand your idea, the line task is basically a square with, let's say, a plus in it. When you click the plus, it adds a head, like an arrowhead. You can move the arrowhead around and point it to wherever you want. Then you can click the plus again to add another head, and you can point to another task. If you press minus, and let's assume there's a minus button there, it will remove a head. That could work. Ruben says, okay, this one's just a shot in the dark, but what if boards were tasks? So you're thinking, if I understand it, you're thinking like, instead of this board system we have here, what if there was a task that was a board, essentially, and you can double click in there and basically start editing that board, and it's just like this. That's not a bad idea. That might be a better implementation of the board system. So there's no real boards, it's just like a folder. And when you go ahead and double click in it, you just jump into it. Is that what you're referring to, Ruben? And Zyodic, I think that's probably a good solution to it, because that way, yeah, you can add multiple heads from one source rather than having to create multiple lines and like just putting them on the same cell, you can create multiple heads and point them where you want. Okay. All right. So this is definitely. It's definitely an idea. It's definitely 2 tasks. Just make it 2 separate tasks. They're just connected with a line. Ruben says, I'm mostly memeing, but that would be interesting. It's doable. That's the thing. I would have to replace the current board system, I think, with that system, just because they serve the exact same purpose. But I think your meme idea is actually better than the current board system. There's nothing wrong with this, but it's very standard, when really you could have folders. You could have a visual representation that's easily mentally serviceable immediately, that represents all of the things that are in there. But something that the board system could make happen that wouldn't be doable with that system is if the layers were visible. So like, let's say you have you're making a dungeon, right? And it's like a Zelda-like dungeon, so you have multiple layers. Let's say you have floor 1, 2, and 3, right? Well, if you have the shape task and you make the first floor, you could jump to the second board and make the second floor, and the third board and make the third floor, and then it would show in like a onion skin kind of like rendering, where you be transparency, where you'd be able to see the full depth of the shape. And something else I wanted to do is allow you to like press a button to like get a 3D visualization of it too. That would be really cool. So that's something I could do once I get, I think, the shape implemented. Like the version after I get the shape implemented, I could see about making the transparency. Don Duval says, I must say you take ideas from others so well. Myself as a software engineer, I find it super difficult to accept ideas from others. Almost feel insulted that people would try to outdo my ideas. Man, thank you. It's like, I'm not that smart. Like, my ideas are very straightforward, and that's why this is not programmed particularly well. Like, if I just approach things like, okay, I think I want this, and this should be how this works, and this is where, you know, and then I run into problems and I fix it later, and other people are like, hey, you should do this, and it's like, yeah, I should. So like, you got to be humble if you want something good at the end, especially for consumers to consume, because like, you know, I'm not making it just for me, I'm making it for ideally everybody to enjoy. Ruben says, I'm not sure the boards as tasks would be up to the task of layers. Well, ideally, and let me just move this over on this screen. Ideally, yeah, ideally it would, I think it would, this system is a good system in the end, but it'll take some time for it to get to like the maximum level. Like it's not bad currently, but it could definitely take some time and take some effort to really get to like the stage of being absolutely just, you know, insanely good. Why does the chat disappear? Being absolutely insanely good at the task. So anyway, we're kind of we're not really getting off track, but I think we're good to start going. David Marul says, hello, catching up with the streaming. Hello, thank you very much for stopping by. Yeah, excellent. Glad to have more people watching and contributing and talking about MasterPlan. All right, so first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna make it so that boards can be rearranged. I'll try to keep streaming until like 1:30. That's the best I can do currently today, because I have something else to do around that time. But we should be able to get at least a couple things done. So the first things first, we're going to make it so that boards can be rearranged. We don't have the ability, where's A Sprite? We don't have the ability to do so, really, because we don't have, where's MasterPlan? Assets. Because we don't have any buttons for rearranging them. So let's go ahead and do that. I need an upward arrow. I could kind of just reuse this one, actually, if I rotate it. yeah, I'm gonna just reuse this. It's fundamentally, I mean, yeah, I mean the play symbol is just an arrow, honestly, so that's fine. We don't really need to do anything special for this. Oh, but I don't have rotation implemented in this function. All right, let's do this. So it's gonna be here, 16, 16, okay. Move board up. Ruben says, "Wow, I just noticed the tasks are pulsing in some sort of wave motion when zoomed out." Yeah, they pulse in a the squares pulse in a sine wave by time. The outer selection and the colors also change in a sine wave. So if we turn that off, you can see it's glowing, you know, vertically or horizontally if you have the tasks arranged like that. So yeah, I added. This was a couple of versions ago, but yeah, I added some ability to just like turn off certain features to just add like a little bit of a much cleaner flavor. It's already clean, but like without outlines, and selections, it's just like super clean. Yeah. All right. So, oh wait, that's right. Let's go ahead and see if this works. So that's the play button. Okay, so we want to rotate this. So we're gonna have to change the immediate icon button so we take a rotation. Let's put it here. This is where it rotates. Origin rotation. All right, so now I just have to find all the places where I use immediate icon button. Okay, fortunately it's not very many places. Excellent. Okay, so we're very fortunate that we don't actually have to rotate this. So I think if we're going to rotate it, it should be 90, right? Does Raylib use degrees or radians? I'm not sure. It does use degrees. Okay, so we want -90 for up. It needs to rotate from the center too. So it should be icon source rec width divided by 2, icon source height divided by 2. Ruben says, so one thing I'm going to add to the suggestions form is to deselect a task from a group selection. You can already do that. You just have to hold, hold Alt. So you can just, select all, hold Alt, and when you click and drag, it deselects. It's unfortunate I need to reposition these. But it's unfortunate I don't have a manual. I'm like, just give me a second while my brain catches up. It's unfortunate I don't have a manual to really go through everything. But there is quite a bit of kind of normal stuff implemented already, like copying and pasting, cutting, selecting all, deselecting tasks, selecting tasks using like a click and drag, searching, all that stuff is kind of it's implemented already. I just don't have a actual manual that talks about it. So that would be something I need to add as well. Rashad Z says, "Yo, sup? How's it going?" So I need to reposition this because we adjusted the origin of the texture that gets drawn, which is fine, but we need to move it over by that origin because currently we're drawing things at the top left corner of where we expect to draw it. It needs to be pushed down to the bottom right corner or pushed down a little bit. So rather than adjusting Yeah, I'll just push it over. Let's see, icon dest rec plus equal, or plus the width divided by 4 times 3. Because we made it so that half of the width and half the height is the center of the icon, so that it rotates properly. And we're already pushing it over by 1/4 of the width and height. I think just to like get it properly centered, but if we multiply that by 3, it should be centered again, yeah. Okay, so that works. So we just need to push the move board over a little bit. We're gonna move it to the left. Rashad Z says, will there be documentation for it later on? I was just talking about that with, this is way too over. What is width? Should be the width of the, yeah, like that. I was just talking about this with Rubman, but basically there will be documentation. I just haven't gotten, that's not enough. I just haven't gotten around to it. It didn't say. I haven't gotten around to making documentation that talks really deeply. What? Is it 24? Why is it 24? How big is the... Oh, okay. The button is 24 wide, 24 by 24. Okay, so we'll just minus H. There we go. Yeah, so basically there will be documentation. I just haven't gotten around to it because I've been kind of lazy, but then also I've been doing other things, working on other projects and stuff. So I'll see probably about doing that way before I release version 1.0, before it's like everybody come get it. It's on Steam, it's on itch, it's done. You know, before that I'll have a documentation of some description. I'm thinking some like very basic plan that you can open that basically just says in text in tasks like, hello, welcome to MasterPlan, you know, to toggle a task press C, you know, you can do this and do that, and you know, I think that's a better approach because that's in the program, it's active, but at the same time it's not done in a way where like you have to refer to it a lot. It's not like a quick reference sheet or anything like that. It's just, it's done. I think it's an elegant way to kind of train people how to use it. It's not a very complex program, but I want it to be somewhere where it's easy to access and where it's easy to get into, learn, and then you probably won't need it anymore because you'll understand how to use the program. Okay, so, oh wait, that's something else. Hold on, I want to add something to the plan for this, for MasterPlan. I want to add the ability to see shortcuts next to the options. Or maybe it should say it down here. Let's see. Shortcut. Leo Zahner says, is it possible to add videos from YouTube without downloading them so that they can be played in the app? That would be cool, and that is on the list of things to do. Yeah, I have Spotify, Amazon Music, and other web streams. I'm not sure if YouTube, did I put YouTube somewhere? I thought I did. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. Web stream task for YouTube videos as an example. No idea of the feasibility. So the problem that basically if I implement a video player task, it's essentially the same thing as web player task, web stream task, in that the first half of a web stream task is streaming the video, like downloading the frames, and then the second half is the video player task, which is displaying the frames. So these will probably go together. Not sure if I'll implement them at the same time, but I don't think I can make a web stream task before I make a video player task, or vice versa. I'll see. The YouTube videos would be probably the first most important, version or task out of these to implement, because most people have YouTube videos that they want to refer to that are not on their computer, right? Like you might have like a playlist on YouTube, or like bookmarks or favorites or whatever of like, oh, these are cool, maybe like character animations, or these are cool, maybe like cool songs or whatever, and so you might have them on YouTube but not downloaded, and so this would be the most important, I think, the most used between these two. But I'm not sure if I could make one and not the other. So, or if I can make a web stream task and not a video player task. So we'll have to see. Definitely on the list. Definitely, I would love to implement it, but I'm not sure if I actually will get to it soon. I did some minor searching on that, and I think I found like something to download a video from a YouTube stream, but I'm not sure if I found something to like decode a YouTube stream and return an image. Because if I could do that, then I could actually make a video player, which would be sick. But that's an idea. I'll have to come back to it in a little bit. Okay, we'll put this here. New tasks. This is going to be displaying shortcuts next to menu entries. Okay, so that's definitely a good idea. Leo, and yeah, I'll definitely see about implementing it ideally sooner than later, but I mean, there's so many cool ideas that really, if development continues, will be in the app, but it takes time. Review Let's Saw says, hi, hello, welcome to the stream, and thank you very much for stopping by. Yeah, okay, so this is working, so we just need to basically grab this, do this. This is going to be 90, this will be down. Okay. So what we're going to do now, we have to extend the boundaries of, this didn't work, it needs to be up, down, yeah. There we go. This isn't working correctly because you can click past the up and down. You can see it's saying we selected 0 tasks because we're basically clicking the board behind this. So there's a rectangle that basically tells the program, are you clicking in like this area, or are you clicking in this area? And so we just need to extend this out to account for the arrows. So we'll do that. Wait a second, board panel? That's what I'm... Yeah. Okay, so the board panel is set here. Okay, so this is going to be, let's see, X, Y... So the way I did this, make room for the icon. X, Y... Oh, W plus 64. So then we probably want to add an additional... H times 2, right? That's an additional 48. So that's 100 flat. Which means... Oh, I see. I was wondering, like, how did I do this? Okay, so the buttons start exactly at the X and go width over. Well, maybe I should just put them at the end, because yeah, because you can't click in this area anyway. Can't click to the right. So I think, well, so we push the up, down, edit, up, down, edit. It's on the right hand side. I feel like putting these over here is better than putting this here. I mean, putting these over here is better than... Yeah, I think we're good. I think we'll just move these over to the right, and we'll probably make all these buttons visible maybe under a menu. So you click a button, next to the active board, and then you have these options: up, down, and Yeah, okay, let's do this. So we're gonna move the board over a little bit more horizontally. Move the up and down over. And we'll just do something like this. All right. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna edit, except something else. Okay, so this is working. So that does work. Maybe we'll just leave it like this. This isn't too far into the... It's not too much eye space and brain space. Maybe I could darken this area so you know you can't click in there. Yeah, because you can't click in there. So we'll do that. We'll do that as well. Draw rectangle rec. There we go. Project.board panel. rl.color. Give me like a... Oh, it probably should be a specific color, shouldn't it? Get GUI. I've forgotten the name of the function I'm looking for. What's the GUI color getting function? I don't remember. Get theme color. Okay. Oh, now it shows up. Okay. Let's go for like... let me see if I can pull up a theme real quick. I gotta find exactly which color to go for. So... I can't pull up the software. Go for GUI... inside? No. Disable. Let's go for this one. Okay, so this will be the color, but we also want it to be dark, so we'll put it like 128. I mean, like transparent. Okay, so that should kind of work. It actually is doing it, but it's not very transparent. So let's go for a little bit. I mean, it's like hard to tell that it's actually transparent. So let's go for a little bit more opacity on this. See if that makes a difference. Yeah, that kind of does help out a little bit. Maybe just like that. Or maybe... I think about this a little bit. Sorry, my Mac just went. The screensaver just came on, so let me go ahead and disable that. So I'm thinking that basically the extra panel just kind of doesn't really work that well. I don't know. I'm not too much of a fan of that particular implementation. It feels a little bit in the way. I think I would, yeah, I think it would be better to just like, well, there's no reason to obscure it visually. if you can't click in that area, I don't really know if people would really whine about that. Yeah, I'll have to think about it a little bit, but I'll deal with that when it comes, when we have an actual problem. If someone actually complains and is like, you know, I want to click in that area, then we'll change it. But for now, I think this is fine. I'll just remove the transparency. There's no reason to have that exist, really. Let's see. That idea is such a good one about such a good one about being able to play YouTube streams. Like, that would be such a cool feature to add. I definitely want to add that in. I'm not sure why my Mac is taking so long to get through to turn off the screensaver. Whatever. Let's move on. I'll just come back to this. Oh, now it pops up. I'm gonna be honest, this is killing me. Alright, so let's see. What we're gonna do, well, that's actually it. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna turn off the transparency and then go ahead and actually implement these up and down buttons so that they actually do move the board up and down. So we don't need this, it's fine. What we'll do instead, no, I think that the easiest way to, yeah, okay, I was gonna say something else. I thought I was gonna say that the easiest way to move the board up and down is just to rename the boards, like swap their names, but their contents are really what what determines you know, whether the board actually moved up or down. So we have to actually swap the board. So we'll do that. So for one thing, we want to disable the option if the board is the first, essentially is the first in the list. Like, you can't move it up if it's in the first in the list. You can't move it down if it's the last in the list. So if board index is, or I guess we don't need it, if board index is equal to 0. So if true, it's disabled. If false, it's not. Okay. And then this is if board index is equal to the length of project.boards. All right. Then moving the board up should be just basically project.boards board index equals b equals project.boards index -1. Oh, -1. So let's see. So B is the board above, and then all right, I think that'll work. We shouldn't have to do any brain checking because we can't click on it if it's the last board, right? Oh, this is equal to this -1. Okay, so we can't move it up, we can't move it down. All right. Okay, so I think this is working. Let's see. All right, it is working. We just have to select that one too. Okay, so now we just have to say project.board index minus Import indexes. Yeah, okay. So that should allow us to actually move the board. Yeah, now the board 2 is on top and we moved it up. Now something else is on top and we moved it up. There we go. Okay, cool. That was relatively easy. Project.log, move board S up. Board.name. Do I have any kind of... I don't think I have any kind of yeah, okay, I just wanted to see if there was some sort of... Oh, I do have a thing. Revealette Sa says, why not move the boards list to the upper right corner? It is in the upper right corner. Leo Zanier says, I think it would... I mean, like, unless you mean something else. Leo says, I think it would still be useful to feature, like... I think it would still be useful to have a feature like comments in Unreal Engine 4 blueprints when a certain number of blocks are joined by a frame. I'm familiar with Unreal Engine 4 blueprints. Let's see. Okay. All right. Well, that definitely. I mean, the note tasks basically serve the same function of displaying text on the, like displaying some information. Being a box that you can drag is something else, and also moving groups of tasks with it is something else. So I'm not sure on that one. I'm not sure if I'm gonna, if I will implement that, or if it feels like it's not necessarily the most, well, there's some elegance in there. There is some elegance in there to be able to drag a comment box and move the internal boxes and internal squares. That's kind of cool. I have to think about it a little bit more, I think. Revealette says, I meant on everything else because I can still see tasks when you're moving around above them. I'm still not, let me see. Why not move the boards list to the upper right corner? Do you mean like the actual upright, like the very top right corner? Like, do you mean like move this to the very corner up here? I don't know if I want to have stuff at the very corner of things. I mean, this, well, I have this at a corner. Maybe I can move it over a little bit. Yeah, I guess. If I moved this to the corner, then these controls would have to be over on the left-hand side, which is not a big deal. I mean, it's definitely doable. But then we'd have to move this over here, or maybe up here. That might be better. Yeah, I'll move it. I guess there's not really a reason not to. It's pretty clean and even, so otherwise, so there's no reason not to move it to the corner. Okay, so that should help us out. Move down, can't move down, move up, can't move up, down, up. Alright, so this is actually working. Excellent. Okay. So yeah, let's go ahead and rearrange the board panel. Because yeah, there's not really a huge reason not to move it to the corner, I guess. Okay, yeah, that should be good. So we want to move the right corner. Minus the width. Okay, so the button. So wait. So the, yeah, y can be 0. X can be what it is, or just actually minus width. No, minus 96. Because we have to push it over to account for the buttons. For these buttons. So let's turn these off real quick. We just want to draw this at x plus 96. Right? And then that should be basically what we're looking for. It says, so you can keep the controls to the right side without the transparent background. Well, the problem wasn't really the transparent background specifically. The problem was more so that the buttons extend outward. And because the buttons extend outward, basically anything within a rectangle is considered no-go. Like, we can't click in this area because there could be buttons here, essentially. Even though there's not. In truth, I could properly do this, where it's like, you know, you can't click in this area or in this area, but that would require more effort than I am willing to put forward for no payoff. So we'll see how this goes. We'll try this. Plus 96. This is gonna be bx minus h. Okay, and I think we're good. So I should just properly, this is too far. Wait, why is, oh, I see, plus 96, and then minus h. I think that's right. Let's see. Okay, better. Minus h. Okay, I think we got it now. There we go. Okay, so up, down. I think the edit should be over here, then up, then down. So we need to do it like this. Down, then up, then the edit. Okay. Okay. Okay, so that's, it feels weird kind of having it directly just so sharp at the corner, but we have this entire bar at the bottom, so it's not a huge deal. It just kind of feels like there should be some space around it. But the more space we have around it, the more you can't click, so I guess it's fine. Let's see, where's the... Oh, stop. It's a little too far out. Okay, so this should be probably 80. We have to fix this actually. So we'll make this a button range. We'll call it 80 as button range. And then anywhere it's like that, button range. Button range. Okay, that should help. So I think we're on the right track here. Oh, float 32. Okay, this has to be a float 32. Where? Roulette says the thing is that when you see other tasks above it, it becomes more distracting and not comfortable. It's just GUI stuff. I don't know. It doesn't feel that distracting to me. But it's not about me specifically. better. We could probably shave off another 8 from it. Also, why is this plus off? There we go. Yeah, that could be, instead of 80, it could be 72. And we should be relatively good to go. Yeah, and then... Alright, we're good. Still can't click in this area, but that's fine for now. Yeah, okay. Alright, so this is it's working. It's working, and we actually got something done. So let's go ahead and commit this. Let's see. Okay. Is there anything else? I don't think I did anything else. I think this was basically it. Okay. Oh, well. Going to rotate icons in immediate. Okay, I need to line. We're good. Excellent. Okay, so we got that done. So the next thing we're gonna do, maybe we're gonna tackle that line concept. So these are both. They're both tasks. So let's start off with something and see how far we go and where we end up. So for now, I'm just gonna smush it into tasks, into the task code, which is already absurdly large. Task type line completable. Actually, we don't need to do anything there. Set completion if it's completable. Otherwise, okay. Load resource. Okay, we don't need to load anything. Receive message. Okay, so for now, I think that should be enough to at least add the option to make a line task. Oh no, wait, we still have to add it to the spinner. Wait, what? Oh, okay. I was about to say, like, how does it know? I got confused by my own code. I was like, how is this happening? How is this working? I understand now. Okay, so then now we should be able to go ahead and... Okay, it crashed, but at least it did recognize it's a line task. Let's see, task icon source. Oh, because there's no line. Okay. So we need a line icon, essentially. Maybe just something like this. I think that's fine. This is 6416. Let's see how that goes. bringing that up as well. Leo Xander says, thanks a lot for the stream. All right, no problem. Thank you very much for stopping by. Always well appreciated, and thank you very much. Okay. That's weird. What happened to Oh, that's why I moved it. That's why I moved it, because clicking up here clicks the board. At least the icon's there. Okay, so that's, I forgot. I was like, why? That's why I did this in the first place. Okay, so yeah, that's just that was the best thing I could come up with at the time. Was like, okay, well, if it's gonna be like this, then let's just move the board in so that it's not in the way of the GUI. Because on the same frame where the GUI, this window closes, is the same frame where the buttons are active. That's what it was. Okay. So we do need to fix it back. We do need to have them offset for now. Zyodic says, I think there needs to be a source and a target task, and the source task keeps track of the target task via a list. If there can be a direct relation, you can make use of GUIDs. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna turn off this. We're gonna turn off the screensaver. That's we're gonna turn off the screensaver on the chat window. I think what we're gonna end up doing, what I'm gonna end up doing, is probably that. It's probably gonna be where when you create a line task and it closes the window, if the arrowhead task isn't created, it will create that and add it to the board. If you delete the arrowhead task, it will delete the base task, and vice versa. I think that's probably fine. I think that's probably a good idea. The alternative would be... There we go. Okay. Finally managed to turn it off. Okay. Exotic says, but what about multiple target tasks? It would have to be a... deleting the head will only delete the base if it's the last head. If there's only one head, one arrowhead, then deleting the arrowhead will delete the base of the arrow. But if there's multiples, then it will just delete the arrowhead task. When you go to edit a arrowhead task, like if you double click on an arrowhead task, it will edit the base task. That all makes sense. Okay. And we need to move this back. We need to fix this. We didn't make any changes in GUI, did we? We did not, so I'll just make those changes now. Or no, not GUI. What was the... It was project, right? Yeah. I guess I could roll this back. Roll it back. Make the changes. Because we didn't do anything... Yeah, we didn't do anything in any of the other files. So... Let's see if we can reset to commit, soft reset. There we go. Go back to GUI. Or no, project. And we want to specifically not move these out. So this was 64. The X was this. 64. Was it 64? It was, okay. Whoops, go run. Alright, let's see if that makes the proper result. Okay. There we go. So this will only really be a problem until I properly make MasterPlan where this doesn't, like, you don't have to double click tasks to edit them. That will be like, I have to revamp the task editing process, and I should revamp the entire code for tasks in general, because that's probably the worst file in MasterPlan is the task.go file. But when I do those things, when I do implement those things, the result will be pretty solid, I think. Okay. Alright, well, this still at least works. So let's go ahead and commit this. So, I don't remember. Let's commit. Oops. Let's not do that. Let's go ahead and. We want to keep this, actually. We don't want this. We want this. Adding ability to move boards. Don't need this. Don't need this or this or that. Oh, okay, I got scared for a second. Okay, I thought, no, wait. Alright, so this is working, right? Yeah. Be right back now. Okay. Cool. So adding ability to move boards, adding ability to rotate icon for immediate point. Okay, cool. So let's commit that. Actually, git amend. Or git I don't remember. Brian Crow says, "Hi, did you finish Iquia?" Nope. This is a different project that I'm working on. Iquia will take a long time to finish. It's already been in production for a long time, relatively speaking. It's been about a year and some change, about a year and a half. Well, I started it January 2019, and then went full time in like May 2019. So it's been basically 1 year of full time work, but it still will probably be. I think I can finish it this year, but it will be at least, I don't know, maybe September. Like, I can't give a real date. That's just a solid guess, like a straight guess, where it's like, maybe I'll finish it by September, I don't know. But no, I haven't finished it. I'm looking for how to amend, git commit amend, okay. Yeah, I wanted to change this to rearrange. Boards. That's fine. Yes. Oh wait, X, yes, enter. Okay, there we go. Did it work? Yes, okay, cool. Alright, now we can go ahead and work with the line. Now, the thing about lines, the current icon, I'm not sure about the icon that we have here. And we don't need a description, but the icon, I feel like the icon, maybe there's a plus and then a minus. But the thing is, like, it should be pretty much just like a straight, like, square. Like, we should have so little actual, well, this might be the best we're gonna get. So we have a plus and a minus there, so like plus and a minus. Maybe the icon could be just like a, like the problem, well, like it extends past a single cell, really. I'm not sure if we can really do anything about that. Let's see. Lakeway Boys Games says, "How's programming go?" It's good. I prefer it, and it works well. Well, I guess we'll have a start and an end icon, because the start the start of a line. Maybe the line tasks don't even need icons because they're visual things. Like you don't need an icon for it really. So let's try this. VS Code, I swear. VS Code is killing me. I'm dying. Okay. Task type line. Like, and it doesn't do it that time. I'm not sure what kills the system. So I want these to be like exactly squares. So let's see if we can figure out exactly why they're not squares. I want to see what's the rectangle of the task. If the task is selected. Okay, so give me a line. So it's 32 by 16. So the rectangle itself is big. So let's see where we decide where the size of the rectangle is. If it's an image, okay, we don't care about that. If it's okay, no, that's not it. Where do we decide the rectangle size, the width, the minimum size? What's the minimum size? Is that 32 by 32 or 32 by 16? It's 16 by 16, okay. That's display size, please. That's 4. Display size. Okay. Okay, so the task display size is set here to be 32 by 16. Display size at x plus 4. Oh, I see. Okay, so what we're gonna do is for lines specifically, we're going to set this. We're gonna hard code this. So we're gonna say if task.task type dot current choice is equal to task line, then task display size x is equal to 16. We're just gonna hard code that in. All right, so then it's gonna be basically this. And a head. So I guess we could have it be like maybe move this over here actually. So I'm thinking basically something like this, maybe for the start of a line. And then the yeah, let's just go with this. Let's just go for both sides of the line being this, I guess. Let's just start with that. That means we can move it back. I was gonna have two different icons, one for the start of a line and one for the end, but that's okay. We'll just have both be the same. Okay, so this actually should work. Concept is solid, I think. So the line is there. Okay, boom. There's the icon. Why is it over? Because it's... Why is it over? That's fine for now. Oh, it's to give it a little room on the side, I guess. Let's compensate. Okay, so yeah. All right. So then what we're gonna do is after the line is created, we want to create the end of the line. So we're gonna create a specific thing for this. Okay. Line ending. This is going to be a list of tasks. You have to actually create the array and the slice. Then the core idea of this is essentially after creating the wait. Saving and loading is going to be kind of weird, but the start of this should be fine. So when you close the editing, which should be in the message. Let's see, message, receive message. So when we close, task close, okay, open, load resource false. Okay, so this is where we're really gonna do this. We're gonna say task dot create end line ending. Okay, and then we say if task dot line ending, if the length of that is equal to 0, then we want to basically create another task. So we're going to say task dot board dot create new task. Task that line ending was append. Task that line ending dot rect equals task dot rect ending dot rect dot x plus equals 16. That should basically be the start of this. Okay, so this is the core concept here. Now what we want to do is we want to be able to move them both at the same time as effectively. If you're clicking on if you're moving the base. So drag, right? If task.dragging, okay. So we say for blank ending in range task.line ending rect x plus equal delta x. Let's see if this is effective and a happy result. Let's see. Okay, it doesn't work, but it is kind of working. It's not working in a couple of ways, but it's kind of working in a bit. Oh, I think I see what this. Okay, so task ending dot position. Oh, it needs to be basically this. Okay, we'll just delta. Position.y, okay. Let's see how that goes. I don't think it's gonna work perfectly, but I think it should work. Remember when I said it, I don't think it'll work perfectly, but I think it should work? Yeah, no. Okay, I'm not sure what happened. They just straight up disappeared. Let's see. Like, that's just not... Oh, so it's following the... We wanted to follow the difference. So maybe I just need the difference between... Let's do it like this. Subtract task.position, ending.position. And then classical delta x. Wait, why didn't this work? I don't remember. Why didn't directly using the delta work? Because that's just what this is. Oh wait. Okay, hold on. So what if we just do this? At position equal task dot position dot x plus the diff. I guess that's just the same as this. Ending dot position equals raymath dot vector 2 add ending dot position task dot position ending dot position. So we don't need to use the delta just yet. I just want it to be as... Oh, diff, okay. I just want it to be kind of... I just want to start with something that works a little bit, and then we can see about adding in the rest. So line, okay, there. Oops. Yeah, they're moving over each other again. Wait, right? Yeah, they're moving over each other again, but why? Alright, let's see. Ending now position. Oh, whoops. Diff. That's what I meant. I was like, what's going on? Okay, that should be at least a better result. Okay, so line. They just might not move. Let's see. It doesn't work, but at least it's kind of doing something. Let's see. So the difference is supposed to be the wait. Ending that position. Let's reverse those. The task position, ending position. Yeah. I feel like this math is solid enough, but maybe not. Okay. Yeah. Alright, I think this is right. Then we just have to add in the delta. Pardon me. So close. Let's see. So we're adding in the difference between the ending position and the task position. I see. Yeah, I see why that's not working. Why can't I just add the delta? What if I just made it so that if you are dragging... That's what I'll do. The obvious solution. Where we just do this, we're just going to do this. For ending, we just say ending.dragging is equal to true. It just makes that when you're moving one, you're moving the others too. That's the best I can come up with at the moment. Boom. Pardon me? Excuse me? Oh, okay, that's why. All right, let's try that. Let's see if this works. Yeah, why is this? Dragging. Let's see. Is it because? Let's see. Dragging. Double click. When does dragging ever become false? When dropped. Does dropped ever get called? Why would? Well, let me see. I feel like this should work, but apparently it's not, and that's the weird part. So it's setting dragging to be true, but it's definitely not moving the endpoint. Why is that the case? Let's see. Where is dragging ever set to false? Let's do that. So it's only set to false here when we double click and here when dropped. So is it setting? Wait a second. Dropped only gets sent twice. One is here when reordering the tasks. One is here. I can't actually see if dropped is working because of this. Let's see. Dropped. So dropped isn't being called, so it should be, dragging should be true. Alright, let's go ahead and try this a different way. Let me see, dragging true, or if task.dragging. Not sure why I couldn't, here we go, task.dragging. Let's see here. You can drag tasks together, so why can't I drag? Maybe I'll just do that. Maybe I'll just, yeah, let's try that. Instead of doing it like this, what if we do it like this? If task.line ending, or I guess we don't have to do that, for blank ending range task line ending dot selected equals true. So basically, when you select the base, it will just select the end. It doesn't. We don't have to worry about. I can't wait. How is it so? Oh, it's because the no wait. Why is it not ending? I'm getting closer. I'm definitely getting closer. This is. That's basically it. It's just a matter of why didn't it select it on the first click? Oh, it's because. Oh, I see. It's selecting it to be, setting it to be true, and then setting it to be false, because everything receives that selection. I see. So I could try to send it a message. No, it's the same thing as what's happening here. Zaddy says, why would you want to move them at the same time? Wouldn't that mean you can't let the arrow point to something in the void? Maybe we don't want to move them at the same time. Dang, I hadn't thought about that. I kind of thought like, okay, you have an arrow, right? It's going like from here to here. It's, you know, arrow like that. You move the base, you move the entire arrow, so it comes like this, you know. But I guess maybe maybe you just want to move the base separate from the head. So I guess that's fine. I guess that's fine. Okay, so then maybe we just don't need to mess with it at all. Maybe we can just line, boom, and then this is the start, this is the head. So then we just need to draw an arrow. Let's keep it simple. Okay, all right, we're cooking. We're cooking with the gas. All right, so let's go back to update or the drawing and stuff. Actually, where is it? Yeah, we don't. And task type current choice is not task line. There we go. So now we won't draw a description because there's no description for an arrow. Let's see. Task type sound. Also, I just kind of now got the idea, like, why don't I change the music? Now that I'm about to stop streaming. Let's see if we can get this line drawing. So, yeah, else. This isn't where it draws. This isn't drawing stuff. Is it? I'm not sure where we should put this. Let's see. Probably after this point. That's my timer. Sound. I guess this is fine. We'll put it here. Else if task.task type current choice is equal to task type line. Draw. I'm not sure if they have an arrow. Yeah, Raylib doesn't have an arrow. It does have draw line. And there is thickness, right? Yeah, I can define thickness. So then I'll just probably put the playhead at the end of the line. So let's do that. I guess actually, I'm just thinking here. We probably wanted to draw before the rectangle. Yeah. We probably want it to draw like outline task. So this is where it draws the outline. This is where it draws the text. So then where's the percentage? Here we go. So we want to draw like I thought I had a delineated thing. I guess not. Okay. So we probably want to draw the line like early. Like pretty early, probably around here. Before we draw the outline. Yeah, so we'll put it here. So if we're drawing a line, or rather if the task type is line, then we want it to start from task.position and go to the ending. Now, do we want to make a plus minus thing? I mean, you could just layer the task. I think that's probably the easiest thing, is just to make it so that if you want to have multiple tasks, you just make multiple lines. Does that make sense? Because if we make it so you have to you have a plus and minus to add and remove lines, the line base is going to be like 3 cells deep. Because there has to be enough room for the plus and the minus. So it's going to be at least 2 cells deep, which is like not ideal. I feel like ideally you want to have it be where it's like, you know, basically 1 cell deep. And if you want to make more, you can just copy and paste, make more. So let's do it that way. Let's make it so that the ending is just a reference to a task. We don't have to do that now. This is just going to be a task like that. Ending. Andrea says, "Hi, Solarloon, how are you doing? I've been busy with the job and other things during this light lockdown." Hello, thank you very much for stopping by. I've been doing well, thank you. Thank you very much. We don't need that. Yeah, it's interesting. Wait. Oh, there we go. It's interesting, you know, all this lockdown stuff. People aren't getting kind of antsy, but it's understandable. It's a tough situation to be in, but you gotta stay safe. You gotta make sure that you don't endanger yourself or others, and you know, don't push too hard on the crowd that's heading over the precipice. Like you don't want to be part of that. You want to make sure that you're safe, your family is safe, you're keeping everyone else around you safe, still wearing your masks, all that stuff, because you want to be make sure that you don't infect anybody else naturally, or make sure you don't get infected as well. Roulette says, maybe you could add more ending nodes and basically start with one ending. One concept, now that I think about it, maybe an easier way to do this would be that if you copy and paste the ending, it'll just go back to the base. The base will be the same. That probably would be a better approach. Let's go with that. That's much more doable, I think. For blank ending range task.line ending. Let's read, draw line X, task.position, ending.position, thickness 2. For the color, let's go with like get theme color, GUI. Let's try that. Let's try the font color. Okay, so this kind of works. It just needs to be in the center, but that's basically it. TP, or I guess BP equals task.position, BP.x plus equal task.project dot, task.board.project.grid size. Andrea says, "This is for you for being a really good and helpful guy. Thank you. That's 10 euros. That's a lot. Thank you. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate it, and especially in this season and time of lockdown, it can be difficult for people financially. So I really do appreciate anybody giving me anything. Yeah, thank you very much. Wow, thank you. So that's yeah, I think we're basically we're cooking. We're cooking with gas here. This actually needs to be divided by 2, and the end point is going to be this, the ending position, and we actually want to add again, divided by 2 by that. Yeah, and then we go from BP to EP, and now they should be centered. And then we just need to draw the arrowhead, and that's basically it. And then just saving and loading and cloning, and that's essentially copying and pasting. And that's basically it. We have the ability to draw lines. Very nice. That's not nice. I wish it would draw underneath the objects, and to do that, I think what I need to do is put this in the draw shadow portion of the code. So we're drawing the shadows. Okay, so we'll draw it over the shadows. There we go. Cool. What happened to drawing it over the... Oh. It's still sorting incorrectly. Ugh. Because it needs to draw over the shadows. So what's happening here is that this object is drawing the line underneath itself. But then this object draws on top, essentially. So, not ideal. We can make it so that it draws over everything. Post draw. So it draws. What was the problem with how it was drawing before? I'm not sure if there's any way I can really solve this efficiently, because I need to draw over the shadow for every circumstance. But each task handles its own shadow drawing. I'll have to consider this a little bit more. I think for now, this is an acceptable solution. And we'll just go ahead and do this. We have to do something to draw the arrowhead. So let's do that. So we're gonna draw a texture pro, I think. I don't think anything else allows for rotation. Extends, but that's not source. Yeah, I think it needs to be pro. Okay, so this is gonna be task.board.project. Yeah, GUI icons. The source rectangle is gonna be this one. 16 by 16. 16 by 16. Destination rectangle is going to be dest. DST is going to be... Oof. So this is going to be an interesting little puzzle. We want it to be... we want a rectangle here. It's going to be 16 by 16 width. But the X and Y needs to be basically like one cell in. So that means that we'll have to do some vector stuff. So we have the ending position. So EP, we'll just reuse EP. So EP equals raymath.vector2 and use normalize and scale length. Yeah. So okay. Dist equals raymath.vector2 subtract BP EP. So that's the difference between the distance between the base and the end. So that's the vector. Then we want to raymath dot normalize. We want to normalize the vector. Oh, it just operates directly on it. Okay, and it needs to take a pointer, yeah. Then we need to scale it. Oops. Scale it by the distance to it. Length. Oops. The length of dist minus 16. And then we have dist.x, dist.y. And that's still not it, actually. We need to add back the base position in. So you end up with that, and then we're good to go, I think. We don't care about the origin. We don't need to rotate. We do need to rotate it. The origin is going to be 8 by 8, right? And then the rotation is going to be dependent on the angle. So for now, we'll put an angle for the color. We'll just make this formalized. Okay. The angle we're going to say is just 0 for now. Oops. And we should basically be there. More or less. Not quite perfectly there, but at least we should hopefully be drawing the arrow in the right position. I'm not sure which one's the base and which one's the arrowhead, but this is basically it. As you can see, the arrowhead isn't rotating, but this is essentially what it's supposed to look like. I think the arrowhead could actually stand to be bigger, actually, honestly. Yeah, it's a little small. I think that the arrowhead could be bigger. Let's see if we can do something about that. We'll just make a new icon for the arrowhead because it needs to be significantly larger, I think. Yeah, that should be better. So this is going to be instead now. We're looking at 176 by 16 for the source. Zyodic says, why not just put the arrow inside the box? I'm not sure what you mean. Do you mean like... Oh, I see what you mean. Hold on. Like put the arrow... There we go. Put the arrow like here. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is, I mean, because, well, I guess that kind of works, yeah. It could go in. It could go in, I guess, that's fine. It doesn't have to not go in. It could go completely into it. Does it look better? Yeah. I guess I'm sorry. I'm genuinely like just thinking like, well, I guess that's fine. I guess it can go fully in, so then we don't have to do any of this stuff. We can just have it. Well, no, that stuff. We can let's do that. Have it where it's just going to the ending position, X and Y. All right, so then we are better off, I think. Oh, it's not drawing over. That's right. Drawing problems. Okay, well, this is in draw shadow. That's part of the reason. Even if we put it so that it draws on top, it still might not draw on top because basically whichever object draws first, or draws second, I guess more accurately, needs to draw the arrow. And that's kind of where the problem comes in. Well, what if we left it like this where it draws the line, but we change the icon of this to be the arrow icon, i.e. this, and then we simply rotate that icon depending on the direction. That way you basically have kind of what you're looking for, essentially. Yeah, I feel like that would be a good solution. Zadok says, with a Bezier curve, the line should always connect on the left side of the box. Ideally, yes. I don't know if I have a Bezier curve, anything for Bezier curves here in this. I don't think Raylib has any function to draw Bezier curves, unfortunately. You can draw circles, you can draw lines. Sphere, rectangle, ray, poly, plane pixel, model, line V. Oh wait, there's Bezier. Is it draw cubic? I don't see draw cubic, but I do see draw line Bezier, so this might work. But I'm not sure how it determines what direction to bend the curve in. So I'm not sure if that's going to actually bend it. Like there should be an extra handle or something. If it's going to be, because you just have start, end, thickness, and color. So I think it's going to be like, if you have a point here and here, it's going to draw like that. You know, curve like that. But if you have a point here to here, it's just going to be a vertical line. We'll see in a couple seconds. So yeah, I think what we're going to end up doing is, cut that out. We're going to, instead of this, we're going to use draw line Bezier. In some frameworks, it's called draw cubic. Yeah, there's no draw cubic. That doesn't exist. You have draw cube for 3D stuff, but no draw cubic. So I'm pretty sure this will be just like a curved version of a line, which is, you know, that's fine, but it's not going to be. Oh, that's well, yeah, it still isn't really going to work for like that kind of a thing, but it will. It's better than nothing. So that's gonna be angle. So I'll have to see about like giving an option for like, do you want it to be Bezier or not? But like, it's still not going to be. I still don't have the ability to control like the angle of the line. To say like, oh, always bend out to the left. That would be ideal, but I don't think I have that functionality. And I don't think there's anything I can do to add that functionality apart from maybe using draw poly. Like maybe I could draw a circle, like a half circle using polygons. Like draw poly, I could sides, or maybe I would just draw lines. I guess I could just draw lines, just draw, you know, 4 lines or something like that. I mean, I'm saying 4, but in truth it would be like, I don't know, 32 or something. But I could draw effectively a half circle between yeah, a half circle essentially between the, or half oval between the points. That would be the best. So but the thing about that is that would force the line to work a certain way, right? That would mean that the line only runs in one direction. Just like this is better or good in that it's smooth, but the line only runs in one direction. Like it's only, well, it runs in multiple directions. It runs in multiple directions, but the thing about this, Well, this is still kind of, it's kind of useful. But I'm still not 100% on it either. But I feel like at least this gives you the ability to kind of control, like you might have a board where you have an, you know, something and you want to point to something to the left. Like we can't say that it should always, the circle should always bend to the left. We could say that it should bend depending on the direction that you're moving in. That's a lot of math. I have to consider this. I think for now this is a good start. I'll just change the icon for the head and then move on, I believe. I think that's a good start. So let's go ahead and try this. We'll head back to the task. This is fine, I think. We'll line task type line. This is what I'm looking for. So we say else if, let's see. Zyog says, aren't there parameters for this function to control the shape of the curve? Nope. Like as far as I was seeing, no, there isn't. I might be able to make my own function to control the shape of the curve, or rather, my own function to do what it's doing internally, and just, you know, translate the code that draws the line to Go and make my own version. But I don't particularly want to do that right now. I'm not sure if that's a good solution. I think this is a good start, and that's okay because I'm running out of time. I have to get going, but I think we can at least get this working as well as possible. Okay, so test line dot. Okay, so if it's the line and task dot line ending 0, then it should be the head, and we should go to here, 176.16. Oh, I'll do this here. All right, I think we're good. All right, that kind of works. We want to move this. I think I want a more sharp arrow. I mean, but this is basically the playhead from before. It's just bigger. Okay. Alright, now we just need to basically rotate the arrow, and this is a little too big. Now we just need to basically rotate the arrow according to the direction. So let's see. How do we have? Get the angle. Vector 2 angle. Okay, this is doable. So we need to get the angle between the task dot position all right, let's do this. Line ending. Let's rename this line endings and also line base, which is a pointer to a task. Line endings is append. Okay, so then ending dot base equals task. All right, good, good, good. So now that I have the reference to the line base from the task, I can get the angle. Ray map vector to angle. There we go. Okay. Alright, float 32, 0, okay. And then alright, I think we got it. Immediately crashed. Let's see. Base. All right, let's try that. I shouldn't have saved it actually. Just immediately. I shouldn't have saved it. What's the rotation? What, I thought that is it not getting the result? Yeah, I didn't think that was gonna work. Let's see, line. Did I plug it into the wrong? Rotation should come. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, I got it. Hold on. Rotation should come in here. Okay, that's what that is. Okay. This is... I think the arrow icon doesn't really fit. Maybe try a smaller and more hollow arrow. I gotta see. And the origin is off. I think it should probably be like that as well. So if it's to the source icon, okay, so it's rotating in the right direction. It needs to be... Oh, I didn't... Oh, that's what I... Oh, okay. Wait, what in the world? Okay. This needs to be over here. 8 by 8. This needs to be plus 8 and plus 8. Is that right? The icon. So if it's the source icon, the icon in the starting box. Yeah, I'll see in a couple seconds here. Yeah, that's the thing about Bezier is that, like, I kind of thought this might be the case. It's not a straight line, so the angle is different. So I'd have to do some Bezier math to basically see where is the actual angle here. So I think what I'm going to do, this definitely needs to be shorter. We're also going to change the, we don't need to print this, change the line, line EX, yeah. Change it back from Bezier. Light says he agrees as well with regards to the arrow icon. Better. Well, this is definitely, and this is kind of where we're facing some problems here. I mean, it's working really well, but the problem you can pretty easily see. Ziotic says with Bezier, just make the arrow point to up, down, left, and right. It's not sharp enough for that. Like it's sometimes it will be in between down and left, like, you know, that it's not that smooth. I mean, it's not that sharp. It's not that, I can't think of the word, that rough of an angle. Like, okay, it's, you know, if this was pointing to the right, if the arrow was pointing to the right, that'd be fine. It's no longer fine. Now it can point to the down and that'd be okay. I mean, like, you know, you're talking about a considerable amount. Well, but that might be better, considering that we're dealing with a, like, this is right, then this is up. So if it ever crosses 45 degrees, then it just points to the nearest direction. That might be fine. Because that way you could do stuff like, you know, this is right. Once you get here, it's going to point down. That's just the cost of doing business. Like, that's just something you're going to have to deal with. This will be right here. That will be right. No, that would be up. It would be right here, but here it'd be up. We can't just make it point to stuff. Should it just be right or left? And you can't make it point up unless maybe it's in the exactly same column, and then it goes up and down. Otherwise it's going to be right or left. That might be better. That might be a better solution. So this will be right. This will be left. And it's changing because I have this setup that they can be neighbors. I need to take that out. That might be the best result. You can also let it point in 8 directions, or let it point to the task which is connected to. It's not supposed to actually connect physically because, like, it's not supposed to be a numberable thing. It doesn't, and that needs to be fixed too. Well, there's a variety of things that could be done, needs to be done to get this to work correctly. And I think that moving, making it so that it points in basically just 2 directions and up and down if it's in the same column is probably solid, because that allows you to kind of have some freedom of positioning the arrow where you want, or positioning the base where you want, while also pointing to something to the left or right. And then if you want something, you know, that points directly, you have the same fidelity that you would have normally of up, down, left, and right. That works. I think that'll be okay. Hopefully, that'll be okay. Or maybe I'll probably also just add like a checkbox. I'll probably also add a little checkbox that controls whether it's linear or not. So if you want a linear, you know, line, you can just do that. But if you want a Bezier line, the default will be that. Oh, I think that'll be fine. All right, so I think we're definitely making some progress, and it just needs a couple more tweaks and fixes, and it'll be done. Nice. Well, I have to get going, unfortunately, but thank you very much for stopping by the stream. Thank you very much for watching, and MasterPlan continues to improve day by day that I work on it, and hopefully without too much time, or not without too much time passing, we'll be seeing some solid progress from MasterPlan, and it'll be just more and more useful. So thank you very much once again. I've been SolarLoon. It's been fun, and if you want to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, please feel free to do so. If you want to support my development, check the links in the description. And if you want to join my Discord server, you can do so as well. There's a link in the description for my Discord server where you can kind of get more moment-to-moment updates rather than streams or videos or anything. All right, well, thank you very much. You have a wonderful day, and I've been SolarLoon. See ya.